on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's all up next.
Where the Gator Bowl once stood, now stands this facility. Everbank Field, as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Jacksonville, Florida. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you got quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Blake Groupie out and ready to send this away. And we're off from Jacksonville. Here's Parker Washington with the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out, a former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. A national champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great and you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
2nd and 3 now. Lawrence now off the play action. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that's a Jaguar first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Here's Travis Etienne on the ground. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. They go right back to Etienne. And he gets across midfield and into Saints territory. It's an 8-yard gain, and things looking a whole lot better now. 3rd and 3 upcoming.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Etienne on 3rd down. And this time they get to him early and stick him along the line of scrimmage. No gain there, and that'll bring up 4th and a few.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
On 4th down, it's Logan Cook on for the Jaguars to punt it away. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by the 2nd-rounder who's been climbing the leaderboard since 2014 out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
One thing you can always trust about Carr is to give you a lot of games and a whole lot of numbers as a starter each and every season. He's just got a lightning-quick release. I love watching him throw a football, but he's not gotten a lot of chances at postseason moments. And time is not on his side.
They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice, once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
Carr now on 1st and 10. That's caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Running back sent in motion left. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete.
You know, it's tough to succeed a linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
Still inches to go on 3rd down. Carr here from the gun. Ooh, missed that one, and he knew it. Put it behind his guy, and now it's 4th down.
I think in a situation like that, 3rd and inches, defense is certainly thinking stop the run first. But that's well done defensively. Not a problem for them to adapt and get into the right coverage and now force a critical 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punting unit. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And the Jaguars are going to take over from deep in their own side. 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Washington. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Alontae Taylor making the stop.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Into traffic, complete. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the 2 defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
Here's ETN on 1st down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Lawrence in the pistol. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
I think the defense is still turned around looking for where the ball is because that QB and tight ends, they got that ball out in a hurry.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
They'll send Logan Cook out again for the punt. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. He's got it at the 24. And he's brought down before the return gets far. This our last play of the quarter. Carr with it on 1st. He completes it in traffic. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. So through 1, this game, more for you defensive maestros out there. Couple of zeros on the board right now. Back to Everbank Stadium in just a bit. We're back for the 2nd quarter. Saints in possession of the football. They have it on 2nd and short. Running behind center with Kamara. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Another run for Kamara. Jukes one defender. And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
This dude was just not going to be stopped. Not by the first defender. Heck, not even by the second one who was able to bring him down. No, it took a few shots before this crew could finally get this beast down.
They give on 2nd to Kamara. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. From the shotgun, Carr. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
Ball at the 33 for first down. And off headed right, Kamara. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Stopped that time by Antonio Johnson.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They stay on the ground with Kamara. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. Call it 4 yards, and they're set up with a manageable 3rd and 2.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
Shaheed motioning right. It's Kamara on 3rd down. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. It's only 2 on the pickup, and it's an interesting call for them now on 4th down. We're at the 2-minute warning now from Everbank. The Saints with a big decision to make here. Less than a yard needed here on 4th. Running for it, Kamara. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And they get to him just in time. That's a tackle for the stand and a turnover on downs.
I love aggressive defenses, and a blitz on 4th down's a gutsy call. But it can work against the pass, or in that case, against the run. Good luck running for the sticks when you've got a whole defense crashing the line of scrimmage off the snap.
The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. By this point, partner, they are through that opening script, through trying to establish their offense, and yet still no points. Thinking it might be time to start switching things up a little bit, tear up the old game plan and start fresh.
Well, I promise you that's what's buzzing on the headsets and over on the sidelines and in the huddle. Gotta find a way to just get into some sort of rhythm.
Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line. 2nd and 1. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Putting the tight end in motion. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Sticking to the air with Lawrence. Wow, very quick throw, but they couldn't connect. Trying to find his tight end. And now it's 2nd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Lawrence working from the gun. Got Washington, it's complete. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Really gay there on the tackle.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
The Saints add a 5th defensive back here. 3rd down coming up. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Flat out a tremendous call. Perfect timing to blitz the corner, and the result proves it. There was barely time for the QB to set himself up to throw, let alone look downfield for a target before he was absolutely decked by somebody who I think enjoyed that chance to rush the passer.
The Jaguars into punt formation. Logan Cook, the one to kick it away. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. 1st and 10 now with all of 15 seconds left to utilize in this half. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. The former #1 pick, Trayvon Walker, on the stop. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. So we've reached halftime. A rough one for a former quarterback like my partner to watch so far. Hang in there. We're scoreless at the break. Now we'll keep it in state, but send you a couple hours away to our buddy in Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports halftime report.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. On the return, here's Mims. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Saints and running back Alvin Kamara trotting back out to the field. And they could take control in the 2nd half early, Brock, if they break the tie on this opening drive. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required, along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
1st and 10 from the 41. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
On these 1st and 10 calls, defenses are always keyed in that a run might be coming their way. And as soon as the QB turned to give the ball, the entire defense came crashing in to bury them for a loss.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Here's 2nd and 11. Dumps it off to his running back.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Now they send their back in motion right. Carr throwing on third. Into a crowd, and a defender comes up with it. Devin Lloyd making the play. And the Jaguars get the football back inside the 45-yard line after the interception. Well, Brock, it was an absolute battle in the first half as they played to a tie, heading into the locker rooms. And already we have the first big play of half number 2 with that INT.
Yeah, not just the first big play, but maybe the first separating play here, Kate. There's always a moment in the second half, especially where one of these teams makes the play, right? That one that we're going to circle and look back to as the defining play of the half. We may just have witnessed it right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Now this is intercepted. That is back-to-back passes. Colson Adebo's got it. And the Saints are stopped on the return just shy of their own 35. Wow, this has been a great game so far, Brock. A hard-fought first half, but they're really offering an edge to their opponent here by throwing a pick on their opening drive.
And now we'll get to see if they can capitalize that and pull ahead. They've already got the ball once this half. You know that they're loose, and now they get it back just one snap later.
New Orleans back on offense and ready to go now. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They kick the running back in motion. Pistol snap to Carr. That's complete to Kamara. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Stop that time by Antonio Johnson.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
From the 37. This is reeled in by Kamara. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how. I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
Running back sent in motion. Throwing on first down, it's Carr. That's caught by Chris Olave. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Kamara now on 1st and 10. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
2nd and 13. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. He beams one deep right. That one's caught at the 10-yard line. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. The Saints pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Blake Grupe to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Washington now to return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Now the Jaguars getting set to go. And they have tried on occasion to ramp up their passing game, but just nothing has worked with consistency yet, Brock. Might be why they trail near the end of this third quarter.
You sure love teams who excel on the ground, right? You love a physical game of football who can hammer at the opponent. But in today's NFL, it's just impossible to win if you don't have a passing component that's balancing it out. Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
From the 28. Connection made, Travis Etienne. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. He only finds a window for 2, but that's still enough for a first down.
Yeah, I get it. Fans will measure a running back's merit by touchdowns, yards, fantasy football world we live in. But as coaches and teammates, Kate, they want something a little bit more. They want to see plays like that, a guy who will always get the short yards in a critical spot like that.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. So we hit the end of the third quarter. It's Jaguars football. They trail, but it's still within reach. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Out of the gun, Lawrence. Cut along the left sideline, but he did not get both feet in. That's incomplete, brings up third down.
Defense doubled him, knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. A bit surprising. Quarterback still threw in that direction with how well that defense had that play covered.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Lawrence to throw it. That's taken in by Etienne. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that first down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. They'll give this up the middle to Etienne. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
In a good spot here, second and inches. Lawrence now off the play action. That's incomplete left side.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Pass didn't work on second. Let's see how that affects this third down. A tight end in motion now. Now Lawrence on the play fake. Complete. It's Ingram. down a step before the 30, right at the 31. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
And this is down across the 30 before it stopped. Give him 5 on that carry, bring it up 2nd and 5.
Hey, that's a pretty modest pickup for a QB keeper. On a traditional handoff, you'll take that yardage, but those QB keepers, so many times, they're really designed, Kate, for chunk plays in mind, double digits, and they nearly got it there.
On 2nd down, it's ETN. And he's taken down with a short gain to the 25. They managed a single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Looking to throw. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. This is hauled in by Ingram. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Trying it right side with ETN. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they can stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. And he will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars cut it to a point late in this one. In the 11th hour, now a point after try to tie this game. And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the 4th. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Here comes Williams on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Saints come marching onto the field. And we'll see how aggressive they get to try and end this game in regulation, or if overtime is on the horizon. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Motioning left is their running back. Setting up to pass. And will he? No, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Hey, Kate, I think we know that the quarterback's a demanding position because not only do you have to have a clock in your head, but you've got to have a spatial awareness of where you're on the field. And once you start retreating, going backward and backward and backward, you got to just sling the ball in the stands. Otherwise, well, you take a huge negative sack like that.
They really need some chunk yardage here on second down. Back to throw. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And brings up third down.
That is a DB's best phrase, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Man in motion, headed right. Here's a give inside to Kamara. Finding room at the 30, and he's finally marked down at the 34. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out, as they'll get together and discuss with fourth down coming up. Their punter making his way out now. And he's getting the call for the second time this game. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. 58 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Jaguars football. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. And even with some time left, Brock, a long ways to go to get into range for a game winner. They're going to need to move it in a hurry. Here he is to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
He's got the hook up to Ingram, and he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. Jags working fast here, trying to get back to the line. To throw. He's going to loft one deep to the left. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete. Couldn't find Brian Thomas Jr. on that throw. And that leaves them with 4th and 5.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. He's got this at the 27. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Saints and this running back headed back out for a new series. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. He's got Shaheed. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. He'll look to throw it. Big catch is made, and he got the feet in too. He picks up 15 on the play. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
This is complete to Olave. And he's able to get this down to the 36. with 2 seconds remaining in our contest, we're going to see what both teams decide to do with this final play. So here's Blake Groupie with a game in the balance. And with 2 seconds remaining in our contest, we're going to see what both teams decide to do with this final play. Now out comes the second-year kicker in one of the biggest spots of his young career. Ball spotted on that right hash, 53 yards out. It has the distance, and it's on target. It's good! So this will win on the road for the Saints. And with overtime in their back pocket, they weren't going to lose it at the end, but they still managed to set up the field goal, and he executed the game winner. What a memorable way to win it. So for Brock Heward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a win for the Saints as we bid farewell from Jacksonville.